House of Da Vinci is a puzzle game that came out back in 2017 and saw success enough to the point that it has since spawned a series of sequels. It originally came out on PC and mobile, and you can really see how the touch tablet of a mobile device would lay the foundations for the VR version of the game. I'll say straight up front here that the House of Da Vinci in VR form is the ultimate version of the game, and in my opinion, is how the game was meant to be played. It's an excellent puzzle game that has only had its atmosphere and gameplay enhanced by VR. So, with that said, let's dive deeper into the House of Da Vinci VR on PSVR2 in our review. The House of Da Vinci VR is set in Florence at the height of the Renaissance. You take on the role of Da Vinci's apprentice, and in the first few minutes of the game, while you're wandering the streets, you see Da Vinci randomly take off on his flying machine from a clock tower. He's left you some cryptic clues about people being after him, so you have to work out the cryptic clues and solve the puzzles in his house to work out who's after him and why. And where has he gone? Gameplay in House of Da Vinci VR is split into different chapters, each lasting different amounts of time. These can range anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour long. Each chapter is an area of Da Vinci's house, from library to cemetery, and you have to solve puzzles to unlock the next area and progress. Speaking of puzzles, sometimes they're simple, like rotating a statue and opening a hidden door. Sometimes, however, they are more complex and require you to solve multiple puzzles at the same time and go back and forth to combine items. Of course, part of this is the combine mechanic, which allows you to combine two items in your inventory to make an entirely new item that may or may not fit that funny looking lock you just spent 20 hours scratching your head at. Items can also have little compartments or puzzles to solve on themselves before you can use them. So the gameplay in House of Da Vinci VR is quite intricate. Most of the puzzles are good, but there are a couple that verge on moon logic territory, and that can be very frustrating if you miss the small environmental clues in the game. This is alleviated, however, with a hint system that shows you progressively more spoilery hints if you keep pressing the button, so at least you're not abandoned to being stuck if you're low on the IQ scale like me. I certainly spent a few times having to use the button to work out which puzzle to tackle next. You also get a device on your wrist that allows you to see special messages and hidden objects. This device also allows you to see into the past and future, which is handy when Da Vinci himself has been in the room and messed with things. You can do this by twisting a little dial and you see things play out forwards and backwards, and the use of the wristwatch item also is limited because it ticks down when you flick up a little switch, so you have to do everything in quite a short space of time. One thing I really love about House of Da Vinci VR is that it really has been crafted from the ground up for VR, which is something I didn't expect given the core game's age. It looks great on PSVR2, with the deep OLED blacks providing a genuinely spooky atmosphere, contrasting with the flickering candles in the stark stone rooms. When you're outside, you can stare up at the beautiful stars, and honestly, they didn't have to put as much effort as they did into the graphics. An example of this is the letters that Leonardo da Vinci leaves you. Rather than having their text spelled out, which is quite usual, you actually have to pick up and read the parchment paper, which is clear to read even in dark rooms. Likewise, the sound and ambient atmosphere of things like medieval church bells ringing really makes you feel like you're trawling the medieval streets of Florence on a gloomy night. It's all these little details that add up to truly elevate this once 2D game into something really unique in VR. The House of Da Vinci on PSVR 2 is an amazing enhancement of the original game that takes an almost 10-year-old game and makes it feel fresh and new. Exploring the game in VR really does add another layer of depth to the game, and it's great to see the developers didn't just phone it in. The only negative I can really complain about is that the only movement option available is teleportation, and even then, you can only move to certain spots relevant to puzzles and progression in that section, much like the original. Adding full locomotion would have been a nice upgrade, but I can see why this was done. A lot of puzzles require you to move your body and to rotate objects in precise movements, which is something that would end up being janky if you could just stand anywhere. With great graphics and a compelling atmosphere, thanks to PSVR2's OLED screen, the House of Da Vinci VR on PSVR2 is the definitive way to play the game. The game has interesting mechanical puzzles that aren't really seen in a lot of other games, and the Renaissance setting of House of Da Vinci VR makes it unique. And while you won't find much that's new to the VR version in your roughly 5 hours with House of Da Vinci, I can safely say that both newcomers to the series and veterans alike will find this an experience worth having. So, who is House of Da Vinci VR for? And should you buy it now, wait for a sale, or skip it entirely? Well, after completing the whole game, I can recommend it to anyone who has even a passing interest in puzzle games, right up to someone who has played the series but is wondering what it looks like in VR. The developers have done a great job turning a 2D point-and-click puzzle game into an engaging VR adventure that allows you to manipulate objects with your own two hands. When it comes to whether you should part with your hard-earned cash right now, wait, or forget about this game entirely, I can wholeheartedly recommend that the House of Da Vinci VR on PSVR2 is worth full asking price at launch. So if you've been contemplating whether to open your wallet and you like what you've heard in this review, then by all means, you should feel safe in doing so.